Randle and company, where it's like he was very, man, is that okay? Is that where you're at, Bob? When you look at the forecast of who the next guy you could go, future Nick, is it Zion? Would you want to get in the Zion business?
No, you know who it is?
Who?
Embiid.
Oh, make the case, Bob.
It's the case for Embiid. He is 29. The Sixers situation is this: if they crash and burn again, if Harden bails, I think there is a non-zero chance Embiid could look at that team and say, "I'd like to play somewhere else, please." And then the Knicks package starts with, Barrett, Mitch Robinson, Toppin, and all the picks.
Do you do that, Andrew?
I'm listening.
Yeah.
I think that package is enough to bring you to the table.
Yeah.
I think with the right,
it would have to be
the right
Embiid,
people in place.
It would have to be Embiid saying, "I would like to leave here now, please."
Yes.
But if you're saying who is the superstar that New York is going to go after, that is who I would say in their dreams they're thinking about.
Is Doc in the front office for this?
No, Doc has now been summarily canned because the Sixers.
Okay, because I was going to say, because there's no way in hell that if you're New York, you can present that. But Doc is going to sit there and go,
let's say, okay, the Sixers flame out in the playoffs this year. Let's say they don't even get to the second round. Okay?
Very possible.
Harden says, "I'm sorry, I'd rather return to Houston and play with this garbage team for James Hardenian reasons that no one can explain." And
he misses the strip clubs.
For sure. Fine. Doc Rivers is fired. Now you have a front office in shambles, some interesting pieces, and Embiid is all alone with no hopes of contending in Philly. What does Daryl Morey do when presented with those circumstances? Does he say, I will do everything in my power to funnel money into a sunk cost when you've already given up a lot of picks to Brooklyn to get Harden? Or do you blow it up? I think given Morey's history, I think he might be inclined to do the latter. So that would, now granted, there's a whole ton of hypotheticals, and the odds of Embiid saying he wants out, no one's heard a peep to that effect so far. So I'm basing this on absolutely nothing. But if I were the Knicks, that is the superstar I would be saying, we'll just keep an eye in a year or so and see what he's thinking.
Do you know what I think happens, though? My Embiid take. Sure. I like this, though. I like the Embiid to Knicks take. And also, over under 3 Adam Sandler movies Joel Embiid finds himself in New York.
For all the same reasons that you said when you've questioned the long-term viability of Joel Embiid as a superstar. He does have a long injury history. He is already 29 years old. A team saying, if you're thinking that Embiid probably has like 2 or 3 peak years yet left, the smart move would be to cash out while he's at his peak. And what is this? He's averaging 33 and 10 right now. He is unstoppable. So yeah, you put him on the block and save the highest bidder, and you hope he doesn't say trade me to New York and no one else. If you're Philly, well, if you're me, you're hoping he says that. But if you're Philly, you're hoping he says okay, fine, find a market for him, and then we can get the monster, all the picks and stuff like that, and then of course Danny Ainge and Sam Presti come really running and banging on your door with a bindle filled with first round draft picks carried over.
Danny Ainge ain't gonna do squat. Let's just.
Right. But does Embiid want to play in Utah? Does he want to play in Oklahoma City? Joel Embiid actually gets to have some input into where he goes. So that would be the guy I'm thinking about for the Knicks. And again, no rumors, no gossip, just me concocting a take out of thin air.
I like this. Ben Stiller is definitely a fan of this take. I'll tag him when I post this.
Sure, tag whatever his name is, Red Rock West on Twitter.
Hey Ben, we know you love Knicks content. We need to get Ben Stiller on the.
Get Ben on the pod.
Let's get Ben Stiller on the pod. Love his dad, his late father, Jerry Stiller, one of my favorites, all-time favorites. Arthur Spooner. I'll say this: what I think happens with Embiid, and then we can wrap up with our picks of the week. I think they trade back for Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler being like, I'm tired of losing. Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler, they see eye to eye. They came very, very close. They would have probably won the title that year if the bounce doesn't go Toronto's way with Kawhi in that game winner. I think that's probably the play. Is Daryl Morey gets aggressive and he's like, hey, Jimmy, do you want to, in the remainder of your prime, you and Joel just go at it for 2 to 3 more years and see if you can do it, just the two of y'all being the twin?
I don't know if Jimmy, I think you get maybe 1.5 years with Jimmy.
But I think it's worth it. 34. I think it's a worthy experiment if you're Philadelphia.
Guys, Jimmy Butler is 34 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
and Miami's going nowhere. Like,
Miami's
what's the point of him staying in Miami?
Jimmy Butler has off nights now. Jimmy Butler has nights where you go, you can't do it. There are lots of. This was a line. I think it was Ted Williams who said this, which he said that great athletes don't ever lose their skills, no matter how old they get. They can just do those things for diminishing periods of time. Like, if you put Kareem, outstanding NBA blogger Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, on a court right now, he's gonna hit a sky hook. Mm-hmm. He can't play 36 minutes, of course, because he's 80, but he can still do that. What age does is it just reduces the amount of time that a player can be at their peak self. So
this
that's
is why I can't play.